Good morning. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Nagin Riaz.
And I'm Ayshat Abdurzakova. Here are some of the stories we're following this morning from the On the Record newsroom. A small plane crashed near Toronto High School last evening. Remarkably, the 3 people on board walked away unharmed. The plane crashed into a fence near the soccer pitch at Monarch Park Collegiate Institute in Toronto East End. People were playing soccer at the time, but no one involved was hurt. The accident happened shortly after 8 p.m.
A 12-year-old boy is one of the 2 people arrested after a homeless man was killed in a violent attack late last month. The other person charged is a 20-year-old man identified as Ayshat Byers. Investigators allege the pair assaulted several people on August 31st, including a 62-year-old man at Nathan Phillips Square who later died from his injuries. Both suspects have been charged with second-degree murder, 2 counts of assault with a weapon, and aggravated assault.
Chrystia Freeland is expected to leave her cabinet post to become an international envoy for Ukraine. The Globe and Mail is reporting today the House leader, Stephen McCartney, will take over from Freeland as Transport Minister, and Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc will take on additional duties for international trade. The announcement could come as early as this afternoon.
City Councillor Michael Thompson will hear the verdict today in his sexual assault case. Earlier this year, Thompson pleaded not guilty on 2 counts of sexual assault. He is accused of molesting 2 women at a friend's cottage Canada Day weekend in 2022.
In other city news, anyone walking along Queen Street West from Simcoe to Bathurst knows there's about as many vacant storefronts as there are thriving businesses. In planning circles, it's known as an urban blight, and it requires a creative solution. Reporter Emma Amodio has more.
This is the Good Friends Market. It's a pop-up, and on Friday, it chose to pop up at the corner of Denison and Queen West. Anyone passing by would find it vibrant and lively, and if it weren't here, it might look like this.
Vacant storefronts are a growing issue across Toronto, especially here on Queen Street West.
But Simon Wong thinks there's a ready solution.
We want to see every available storefront filled and great people on the streets and shopping, eating, dining, and staying in the area.
Last Friday, the pop-up was at Denison and Queen West, and next time it could be, and likely will be, at another spot altogether. Quinton Hermes is the founder of Good Friends Market. He says pop-ups are a great way to liven up a retail landscape that could otherwise seem sad, which is what can happen when it seems as though there are as many closed businesses as there are open ones. He says pop-ups are a way to revitalize an area and support small businesses.
I used to walk down Queen Street all the time, and then even the last year I walked down and it felt very different, and I'm seeing all the empty stores is kind of sad.
City planners have been exploring whether there should be more support for pop-ups. For example, by making it easier for them to do business, not just out on the street, but inside some of the many closed shops in parts of the city, such as Queen West. A report is expected in the coming weeks. I'm Emma Amodio for On the Record News.
Thanks, Emma. Time now for a weekly look at sports. We're delighted to welcome Praise Ditep. Hi, Praise. What have you got?
We will start with women's varsity soccer. On Sunday, the TMU Bold managed only a draw against the University of Toronto Varsity Blues. The Bold started off strong, with Mira Sally scoring the opening goal within the first 6 minutes. However, what could have been a quick follow-up goal was thwarted when Talaja Folk's second attempt was stopped by U of T goalkeeper Mariah Godoy Atrash. Frustration increased for the Bold after multiple failed scoring attempts, and things got worse in the 96th minute when Blues midfielder Amelia Rasicot put the ball into the back of the net to bring the Varsity Blues level. The match finished 3-3. The 2 sides will meet up again on Friday. Now to the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, where Canadian athlete Cameron Rogers defended her world champion status in the hammer throw. The 26-year-old from Richmond, BC, threw for 80.51 meters. Her winning toss is the second longest hammer throw on record. Poland's Ani Wlodysik threw the hammer 82.98 meters in 2016. The Polish record holder was there to watch the event. Rogers says she is proud of delivering her best ever performance in front of the three-time Olympic champion. And with just 12 games left in the regular season and currently sitting third in the league, the Toronto Blue Jays took down the Baltimore Orioles for the third time in a row on Sunday afternoon. Playing right here at home at the Rogers Center, the Jays capped off their series sweep with an impressive 11-2 score. The Blue Jays team celebrated their win with an Instagram post saying, "We won again." Blue Jays pitcher Shane Bieber only gave up 4 hits and struck out 5 in his 97-pitch effort over 6 innings. And tonight at 7:30, the Jays will play their second of a 4-game series against the Tampa Bay Rays. That's all for sports this week. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Praise. In art news, one of the best-known film stars of the late 20th century has died. Robert Redford was 89. He was known primarily as an actor in films of the 1970s such as Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and The Candidate, and later became an acclaimed director and icon of the indie film scene. Redford established the Sundance Film Festival, which has become one of the industry's biggest events. Now to this week's look at entertainment news, we have Nadija Sene. Hi Nadija, what do you got for us?
Thanks. A couple of main stories to bring you this week, beginning with, on Sunday night, the Emmy Awards. The studio was the big winner. It's an Apple TV production co-created by 2 Canadians, Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. It won for Best Comedy Series and in 12 other categories. 13 Emmys is the most ever by a comedy show. Another record breaker was the barely a teenager, Owen Cooper, the youngest male to ever win a Primetime Emmy. By the way, a girl younger than that won 40 years ago, but let's not get bogged down. Anyway, Cooper was 14 when he played the role last year of Jimmy Miller in Adolescence. The 4-part Netflix series triggered a wide-ranging conversation about the online lives of boys and the potential dangers of isolation and alienation. Stephen Graham co-created the series and won Best Actor, playing the father. Speaking of winners named Stephen, the one named Colbert was also recognized, winning for Outstanding Talk Series. The timing is rich, seeing as Colbert's long-running show is being canceled by CBS. The cancellation was announced a few weeks after the network agreed to pay President Donald Trump $16 million US to settle a lawsuit. Trump had sued CBS over the coverage during last year's presidential election. In other entertainment news, here in Toronto, the band 21 Pilots will be headlining at Budweiser Stage both Saturday and Sunday night, along with Dayglow. It's one of the last shows at the venue for the summer season. Might be a great time to relax, enjoy the warmth before it all goes away. That's it for entertainment. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Nadija. The Toronto International Film Festival has come and gone. Thousands and thousands of cinephiles came from far and wide to attend the festival during its 2-week run around the King West neighborhood. For those who line the streets, the festival experience could be both inspiring and frustrating. Here's OTR reporter Jess Bertan with more.
Film fanatics, aspiring filmmakers, and tourists. About 700,000 people came out to TIFF 2025. It's the festival's 50th anniversary. Audiences could purchase tickets online through Ticketmaster months in advance, or try their luck queuing around the block in hopes of watching the season's movie premieres. But the ticketing system seemed to leave more attendees standing on the street corner than seated in front of the screen. Jamie Rebinal is an aspiring filmmaker who's been going to TIFF every year since 2014.
I've been rush lining at TIFF for quite a while, and normally I've had very good luck, and sometimes it doesn't always give us the best seats, but you know what? Just being able to see the movie is still good enough.
He said TIFF's ticket management this year was poor. So poor, in fact, that despite the never-ending lines for films like Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, some seats were still empty.
Apparently, like out of the 100 to 100, I want to say 120 something people who rush lined for it, only 70 of them got in. But one of my friends who was in the balcony at that same screening, he had a ticket. He noticed upwards of 30 empty seats.
And for films like Guillermo del Toro's highly anticipated Frankenstein, even those with TIFF membership passes found themselves stuck in the rush line for hours, only to be turned away when suddenly all the tickets were gone. Paulina Marin, a TIFF volunteer membership holder, was one of them.
Yeah, I got here around like 3:15-ish. It's like, what, 6? I've been here for 3 hours now.
Pre-sale tickets for Del Toro's film sold out within days of being listed back in August. But that didn't stop his diehard fans from turning up in an attempt to snag last-minute seats.
We're international students. We don't have any money.
We don't have that kind of money, no.
That kind of demand meant the cost of resale tickets for Frankenstein skyrocketed on Ticketmaster, $500 and up, shutting out many loyal fans. And that's what can happen with Ticketmaster. Tickets go on sale, hundreds are purchased by scalpers and online resellers, then resold at 5 or 10 times their original price. Will things be better next year? Or, Frankenstein aside, has TIFF created its very own monster? Who knows? When we reached out to TIFF's organizers for comment, they did not get back to us. Reporting from TIFF 2025 for On the Record, this is Jess Bertan. Back to you.
Finally, in today's news, here on campus, it wasn't your usual Thursday last week in the Kerr Quad. Ayshat, you were there. Tell us about it.
I'll do you one better. My colleague Jenna Gitlin and I grabbed our cameras and our mics, and off we went. Let's have a look. The TMU Fashion and Film Group are hosting what they call a performative male contest, a competition to see who can deliver the best impression of a performative male. So, what is a performative male?
It's the latest social media trend that has been sweeping university campuses across Canada and the US.
The term refers to an internet meme describing a man who adopts a socially desirable persona, often to gain attraction from women. With curated interests and surface-level feminist beliefs, the performative male represents image rather than authenticity. Contestants are showing up to the event in thrifted outfits, iced matcha lattes in hand, and carrying labubus, each with their own take on the so-called performative male archetype. And it wasn't just TMU students. After a TikTok promoting the event went viral, the contest drew crowds from other universities and colleges. But is the contest more than a funny trend? Some people are looking at the bigger picture.
The truth is, these contests are bringing awareness to real-life problems that women are having with tampons, pads, not being paid more, in the workforce, harassment, all these things. And I know it's because it's such a lighthearted joke. It brings the awareness in a lighthearted, fun way, where not everyone needs to be serious about it.
TMU student Jordan Terry used his victory speech to spotlight a women's shelter run by his aunt.
You guys have picked who you want. Jordan, you're number
one! Sorry, real quick. Take your shirt off. Guys, if you have the time, please look up Dr. Ross's Healing Place. We have a center for women who are going through domestic violence, domestic abuse, those who support children, those who are going through impoverished times. It's run by my aunt. Take a look at it, donate if you can. Do your research, volunteer if you need to. You'll probably get credit hours as well. Just take a look.
The contest provides a space for people to playfully mock the trend without promoting the behavior.
If you perform to get someone as a spouse, there's a very low chance that that person really is someone that you should be with. Yes, in the short run, it might work out, but if your goal at any point really is to be in a long-term relationship, it's not just about acting yourself and showing yourself. You have to act yourself, or the person that falls in love with you isn't in love with you. They're in love with the performance you're putting on.
And over satirical it was.
I'd also like to apologize that I came here late, because I was at a women's rights rally. Which one, you might be saying? My life. I have one thing to say to misogynists. Hey! You better stop it.
Whether it's for fun or function, the performative male trend shows no signs of slowing down. So if you're a trendy male, don't forget your matcha and your tote bag. For On the Record News, I'm Ayshat Abdurzakova. That was so much fun. And that's all for On the Record this September 16th. I'm Ayshat Abdurzakova.
And I'm Nagin Riaz. Join us for On the Record next week as we round out the latest stories from the OTR newsroom.
And for the latest 24/7, visit our website ontherecordnews.ca. Have a great day.